Yo, what's going on? Got a new post from new Rockstar. They have already done a breakdown on the newest trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series coming to Disney Plus. May 25th, I think it said, is when it will start streaming. So let's get straight into it, see what we missed. Bro, it was a minute and 40 something second teaser. This man got a 20-minute video, bro.
Boss, and this is a breakdown of the
What did you
trailer for
find?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, or should I say, Kenobi? Because Duel of the Fates is back in our ears, and all of the ghosts of Obi-Wan's past are back to haunt him as he strives to protect a young Luke Skywalker ahead of his rematch with Darth Vader. I loved this trailer, and I'm gonna break it down frame by frame because it is filled with awesome Star Wars Easter eggs, interesting clues, subtle details that you just might have overlooked. So let's go!
Overlooked.
The fight is done.
We lost.
We lost.
The trailer opens with Anakin Skywalker's favorite stuff, sand. It coarsely and roughly and irritatingly gets everywhere under the twin suns of Tatooine. In the music, there's this magical little riff. The great John Williams is returning to do the music for this series, and this riff is played on a celeste, which John Williams loves to muse, like in
What
his
the
Harry Potter
hell?
theme.
This man
People all over the world have my disease.
gotta have a team of at least like 50 people.
Or if you remember the opening shot of The Last Jedi teaser, there's a little riff there.
That shit is hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Is John Williams' theme from Revenge of the Sith called the Battle of the Heroes. Just showing how, after all these years, Obi-Wan is still haunted by the memory of his friend's betrayal and what he had to do to him. Obi-Wan rides an Eopie, a Tatooine animal first seen in Phantom Menace.
I don't know why I immediately, well, there's obvious reasons why you would assume that's a camel.
But also, the steed Obi-Wan was last seen riding when he left baby Luke with Anakin's stepbrother Owen Lars and his wife Beru in the final scene of Revenge of the Sith. This series will take place 10 years later, in the year 9 BBY, that's 9 years before the events of A New Hope. This is the middle period when Obi-Wan, in exile under the alias of Ben Kenobi, keeps a watchful eye over young Luke Skywalker, keeping him hidden from the Empire as a farm boy living with his Uncle Owen and his Aunt Beru. Now, various other Star Wars titles over the years have touched on Obi-Wan's time during this period, saving young Luke's life at various points as Owen would warn him to stay away, and then actually at one point saving Owen from Black Krrsantan, that Wookiee who just showed up in Boba Fett, giving BK that scar that we saw on his head. And then at another point later than this show, when Luke is 12, he saved him from a crate dragon. Actually, see Obi-Wan walking into town and slicing off a piece of meat. This actually might be a slab of crate dragon meat from one that he had butchered. Obi-Wan laments,
The fight is done. We lost.
Yeah, you'll notice his voice sounds a bit echoey here, as if he might be speaking these words while in a meditative state, communicating perhaps with Yoda, or maybe with the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, since in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda told Obi-Wan that he would teach him how to reconnect with the ghost of his old master.
An old friend.
That's sad as fuck, bro. Imagine being friends with Yoda and not seeing him again.
Old master. Qui-Gon. How to commune with him, I will teach you.
So let us all pray Liam Neeson returns to the series to impart this very particular set of skills.
What a goat. Liam Neeson.
Stay hidden.
So Obi-Wan watches over the Lars homestead, looking just as it did in A New Hope, with Owen and Beru even wearing pretty much the same outfits that they wore in that first film. Actually, this is dark, but they are standing in the same exact spot where Luke will later find their corpses burnt when the stormtroopers torch the home. Meanwhile, 10-year-old Luke plays as a pilot. It looks like he's actually wearing pod racing goggles, and the way he pantomimes operating the controls and leans just looks so much like young Anakin piloting during that pod race. And right as Obi-Wan pushes in on Luke, the moment he zooms in on him, John Williams' Battle of the Heroes theme transitions so smoothly into the classic Force theme.
Little callback.
Stay hidden.
Let's move on.
Dude, I fucking love that shit, bro. The vocals is on point, man.
To hunting Jedi.
Ooh, baby, what a needle drop. John Williams' Duel of the Fates is, of course, best known from Phantom Menace.
That theme music is way too hard. That shit could get you hyped to fight anybody, bro, for no reason.
Swiffer Wedgette Wood is specially made
Just
to
on
safely
timing.
clean wood floors. Try Wedgette Wood.
No.
But the music was always bigger than just Darth Maul's theme, because it's really come back throughout Star Wars titles. For the lyrics of the song, John Williams translated an old Welsh poem called Battle of the Trees into the Sanskrit language. He wanted to frame this duel as a kind of pagan religious ceremony, almost like the spirits of both sides of this conflict, the Jedi and the Sith, shrieking like a Greek chorus, egging on their mortal champions. And that same kind of battle is still being waged now, as Obi-Wan faces Darth Vader once more, as he faces the Inquisitors, and maybe also faces a rematch with Maul. Because this is set 1 year after the events of Solo: A Star Wars Story, which established Maul as the powerful head of the Crimson Dawn crime organization. Now, in Star Wars Rebels, which is several years after this, Maul will eventually track down Obi-Wan to Tatooine, but this is something he would not yet know at this point of this show, so that rematch would not go down on Tatooine. But we do see Obi-Wan go off-world in this trailer. Either way, Maul could simply cameo in some other scene that would set him upon his revenge quest in Rebels, at least give Sam Witwer one more chance to reprise this.
KENOBI!
Then an Inquisitor shuttle speeds across this ocean planet towards this fortress. This is the ocean moon of Nur, and this
I would
is the
low-key be
fortress
mad, bro.
Inquisitorius. So let's talk about the Inquisitor.
If they show Darth Maul and he
Jedi
doesn't
hunters
actually
from the
do anything,
1987
maybe just sits in a chair.
Inquisitors were introduced in Rebels, explored further in the 2015 Darth
just
Vader comics,
has a
and in the
voice
Jedi
line.
Fallen Order game. They are a squad of Force-sensitive beings trained by Darth Vader to hunt down Jedi survivors of Order 66. They're led by the Grand Inquisitor, voiced in Rebels by Jason Isaacs and played here by Rupert Friend, turned Rupert.
Oh, that's
Season 1,
him.
he lures Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger to a trap using the mummified remains of the Jedi Master Luminara Unduli. The Grand Inquisitor dies at the end of that season.
There are some things far more frightening.
Look like fucking Quan Chi, bro.
But he was later revealed to be one of those Jedi guards in Clone Wars who helped arrest Ahsoka Tano when she was falsely accused of bombing the Jedi Temple, and then later he helped arrest the true culprit, Barriss Offee. But from that experience, he learned the flaws in the Jedi Orthodoxy, and that's what opened him up to be corrupted by Palpatine, and it would suggest that Palpatine did that to help expedite the fall of the Jedi Temple. Now, the Fortress Inquisitorius is a secret location after the Inquisitors were forced to relocate from Coruscant, so that now they're really off the books. The moon of Nur is actually very close to Mustafar, where Vader's
wallpaper
castle
material.
stands. Their shuttles, which we've seen in concept art, have a two-pronged tip that matches the two-pronged tower of Vader's castle. Of course, we visit this underwater fortress in the game Fallen Order, and that game reveals the backstory of the Inquisitor named the Second Sister, Trilla Suduri, former Padawan to Cere Junda. The Second Sister goes on to fight Cal Kestis, and in defeat, nearly forgives her former master, but is executed by Darth Vader. Other Inquisitors include the Fifth Brother and the Seventh Sister from Season 2 of Rebels, who tried to kill Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger, and an arc that also introduces the Eighth Brother, an Inquisitor who had been trying to track down Maul. All three of these Inquisitors end up killed. There was also the Sixth Brother, who had tried to kill Ahsoka Tano, but Ahsoka defeated him, taking his blade's kyber crystals
No
and
cap.
purifying them white, which is why in Rebels and in Mandalorian
No
Season 2,
cap.
Ahsoka has those twin white lightsabers.
What a
Now, if you look
fucking
closely on the
legend,
Fortress landing
bro.
pad, that looks like a Lambda-class shuttle there. That's the same kind of ship Vader and other Imperial VIPs use for transportation, so Vader may be present here checking in. On to the next clip.
Patience.
I'm not too sure about that live action adaptation of the Grand Inquisitor. That nigga's cranium is massive, bro.
Jet uses a fresh pad. It's a cleaner way to clean.
Didn't I just tell y'all niggas I ain't want it? Damn.
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
So the Grand Inquisitor faces down what looks like a Cantina barkeep on Tatooine. His armor looks as it does in Rebels, though here it has a badge that he did not have before. Maybe it's a special designation he gets from the Emperor that he loses after his failures on this series. Now, later in the trailer, the Inquisitor Reva, a major character who we're going to be following on this show, played by Moses Ingram, stops a runner dead in his tracks in the same cantina. And in this shot, you can see Reva in the background on the right, and then on the left, the Inquisitor with the wide headpiece. This is actually the fifth brother from Rebels.
Really?
Live action played by Sung Kang, aka
I'm not
from the
too
Fast and the
sure.
Furious films.
I
Now,
fuck with that
someone
actor,
realizes
but I'm
we're
not too
Twilight
sure.
Out on the go.
He
And
look
when
a
I'm
little
doing it,
weird.
The last thing I want to worry about is my earbuds falling out, but I avoid that nightmare scenario with Raycon. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this episode.
How did he just
Raycon's got
transition into that
everyday
ad?
earbuds with optimized gel tips for the perfect fit. It makes them comfortable and they do not slip it right. Because if they hours of price of $1,000. Again, to our man Ben Kenobi during this episode. Then we see a skiff on Tatooine transporting, it looks like workers, including our man Ben Kenobi. Just
Damn, bro, that nigga on the third in the
making
row.
This look like a really cheap, polluting piece of hardware. Meanwhile, we hear the Grand Inquisitor lecturing, the key to hunting Jedi is patience. They cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. Now, I know to a lot of you that sounded like the voice of Palpatine, but according to the closed caption on the trailer, it was actually the Grand Inquisitor. But it's a really interesting perspective from a former Jedi raised in the Jedi Temple, now patronizing the Jedi as a cult-like mental disorder. George Lucas did originally conceive the Empire as space Nazis, and here the Grand Inquisitor's assessment just evokes that elitist mindset of the Nazis, and in this way frames the Inquisitors as a sort of SS of the Empire. Then inside the lower subaquatic levels of the Fortress Inquisitorius, Reva meets with the fifth brother and another Inquisitor with these tendrils. Both have on their backs the ringed double-bladed sabers carried by all Inquisitors, which allow them to rotate the blades like a helicopter rotor. And you'll notice one of these chairs has a tall two-pronged seat back matching both their ships and Vader's castle. So this may be Vader's chair at this table or the chair of the Grand Inquisitor, with that Grand Inquisitor trying to embody Vader's aesthetic. Then on Tatooine, someone is suspended on display, perhaps the fugitive that Reva chases down, looking like a message to the locals not to harbor Jedi. But rather than being hung from a noose, I think that'd be a bit dark for Star Wars. I wonder if this guy is actually being force choked up over the ground and left to suffocate. Among these bystanders is Joel Edgerton returning as Owen Lars, sweating like a gumped-on Mustafar. Now, it seemed at first like these Inquisitors might be on Tatooine looking for Kenobi himself, but I don't know. If they got that close, I don't know if Obi-Wan would have been able to live for another 9 years after this. Rather, I think there is another Force-sensitive fugitive who fled to Tatooine and just got too close to Obi-Wan. And this guy, tragically, Kenobi would not have been able to help, else risk his exposure and endanger Luke, who is another Force-sensitive kid that the Inquisitors would probably target. So perhaps, while chasing this random Jedi, Reva then senses another presence on this planet that forces Obi-Wan to lead her off-world and try to throw her off its tail. Moving on.
Yo, his fucking theories are solid, bro.
He cannot help it. Where is he?
Okay, here we see Reva on the new planet named Daiyu. Described by the writer of this series as a Hong Kong-like setting with graffiti-ridden nightlife, the neon Aurebesh beside Reva translates to ER, and then to her left, as she looks out, letters spelling out milk. Kind of like old man Luke. They love the lactate.
What the
here.
fuck, bro?
The
So if she is she the only new Inquisitor that we've seen? Like all the other ones are in Rebels, and majority of them die in Rebels. If she's the only new one, if she gets her one-on-one with Obi-Wan, we already know she's getting packed up. It's over with for her.
Tatooine, and then a shot of Imperial officer played by Indira Varma, aka Ilaria Sand from Game of Thrones, blaster drawn. You can tell by her badge, red, 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 blue, she is the rank of captain in the Imperial Navy. Then that female Inquisitor interrogates a lineup on the Daiyu street. You can see an Aurebesh sign in the background translating to Haas Market. And as she walks right, the last suspect on the end is a large fur-covered fella that we cut away from quickly, a Wookiee perhaps? I mean, it's just a reminder that this is 1 year after Solo, and Chewbacca is at large as a smuggler. Then we see this quick shot of a new droid, letters on his chest looking like they translate to Ned. I'm wondering if this could be Kumail Nanjiani's character, which would keep with the recent Star Wars tradition of comedians voicing the droids. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Matt Berry, Richard Ayoade, Alan Tudyk. Then the Grand Inquisitor fans his lightsaber, never breaking eye contact. Now this bald dude does look a bit like the same head shape as Tamora Morrison, aka Boba Fett, aka every clone in Clone Trooper, making me wonder if this could be a runner runaway clone trooper after Order 66 being
Oh
interrogated.
shit.
And I only bring this up because there is another shot in this trailer showing the backside of some really banged up looking stormtrooper armor. A little too scratched for stormtrooper armor, plus it looks like a bit of blue plating there. Could this be the clone trooper armor of Rex? Could Rex be in this show? I mean, I know he wouldn't die here because Rex survived.
That would be so
Rebels.
fire.
I'm just saying this would be an awesome opportunity to give Tamora some more screen time to make up for those 2 episodes of the Boba Fett series. On to the next clip.
Between darkness. If they show me another Swift fucking wet jet bullshit,
Swift
you
and Wedge at Wood.
motherfuckers. You motherfuckers,
Floors.
man.
Try Wedge at Wood.
Goddamn
We
green
hear that
parrots.
His brother leads a squad of stormtroopers on Daiyu, and yep, I translated all the Orabesh. On the far right, the last letters are E-T, maybe the last letters of the word market, and then the blue sign at the top of frame, I think spells out the same thing as the other blue sign in frame, Gungan Snacks. And then on the right side, we see some pink letters with the green border, also the same word repeated with the orange letters in green border, both spelling out the word market. And then on the far right, in orange, once again, milk. Then we see a quick shot of 2 pods blasting out into space. These look a lot like the pod used by Yoda in Revenge of the Sith to escape to Dagobah. This could be the moment he and Obi-Wan separate to their respective exiles, which tells us that we may see flashbacks to Revenge of the Sith and flashbacks to the Clone Wars era. Then we see a black gloved hand touching a symbol chalked on a wall. This is the sigil of the Jedi Order, the saber flanked by the wings. This actually may be Reva finding a Jedi hiding place. Maybe the Jedi have used these markings to signal to each other and to keep the hope alive. Then in an alley, Reva stares down a gunslinger. I'm thinking this is Obi-Wan, not wanting to out himself yet by using his lightsaber, and instead opting for the blaster. So uncivilized. I love how the backlighting casts a long shadow in front of Reva, which gives her just this fearsome edge, but also suggests that her opponent will have the light in his eyes for this duel. Then we see a quick rooftop shootout that looks like Obi-Wan engaging with some blasters coming from multiple different directions. I do like the detail of the laundry being hung up to dry. Now they said they based Daiyu on Hong Kong, and fun fact, in Mission Impossible 3, J.J. Abrams actually had to digitally remove shots of hanging laundry in Shanghai because local film distributors didn't want Shanghai to look poor. But in space Hong Kong, Deborah Chow leaves the laundry in. Then an overhead shot shows a vent releasing these green birds. I'm not really sure, but the best known green bird in Star Wars is Morai, the female Condor who befriended Ahsoka Tano with a
like
spiritual
those birds.
connection to the Daughter, the mystical deity of Mortis. Now we did see Morai appear briefly in The Mandalorian on the planet Corvus, but until now I don't think we've seen a whole flock of these. Still, I would love for Ahsoka Tano to cameo in the series, since presumably
I hope
Obi-Wan
so,
will have
bro.
to leave some babysitter looking after Luke when he leaves Tatooine, and it would give a bit more context to Ahsoka and Luke's moments in the Book of Boba Fett. Then again, Rosario Dawson would be having to play an Ahsoka 20 years younger than
You're
when
telling me
she was-
Ahsoka is in the Book of Boba Fett, bro? I just got fucking spoiled. Goddamn. I need to get on that shit already. That logo shit was so hard. Why is it the same 2 ads, my nigga? What the fuck? Got Old Spicy and fucking. Alright, it's not wet yet this time. I was about to say, man, damn.
Okay, after a close-up of Obi-Wan, we get the series title, which if you look closely, snuck in the shape of Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
Oh,
on that
shit.
eye. Then we hear the
Did not
iconic
notice.
breathing of Darth Vader. And we know Hayden Christensen is coming back in the series to have an epic rematch with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What a
It's super
fucking
exciting, especially
goat.
because if you listen closely, they use a specific music sting. This is John Williams' Anakin's Dark Deeds track from Revenge of the Sith, right after Anakin slaughtered the Separatist leaders on Mustafar and bitterly stared into the lava and the flames, a tear rolling down his cheek. And I love that they remind us of this moment, because for me, whenever I rewatch Revenge of the Sith, this right here was Hayden Christensen's darkest performance. Just simply his silent glower, his inner torment. There is a reason Hayden was brought back for the series, because think about it, if they just wanted Vader, they could have brought back the team they used for Rogue One. James Earl Jones doing the voice, a couple stuntmen doing the performance. But no, they needed Hayden Christensen, because it's not just Darth Vader with the mask that we're returning to, it is the grief-stricken, rage-filled human underneath that mask. So this John Williams light
I'm gonna lose it,
promise
bro.
that we will see
I'm
this
gonna
voice again,
fucking go
whether it's
ballistic when I
Invader's
see this
breathing
nigga.
apparatus, or a close-up under the mask, the scarred face, or maybe a different form altogether projected in astral form. Obi-Wan will have to look into these eyes once more. And lastly, you gotta love that blue lightsaber cutting in to form the Disney Plus logo. Just between
If it's
this
similar
and
to the way
movie
Ahsoka
trailer, this is essentially the House of Mouse's new
cracked his
Tinkerbell
mask in
Castle,
Rebels,
and I'm
bro.
digging it. Now, be sure to check in Monday here
That
at
shit gonna be
Rockstar's
fire.
Wookiee Leaks. It's our weekly Star Wars reaction Q&A, and at this point, we are going full KENOBI! Also, check out our great merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss. Follow
Lit.
New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and oh, I forgot to say hello there. So, goodbye there.
Damn, bro. A minute and 40-second long teaser, bro. And he found all of that. That was a lot of shit that we just learned. Yeah, the main reason, obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi is a huge part of Star Wars, but the main reason I want to see it is because I want to see Anakin, bro. Anakin was my favorite character for a long time until, like, I just slowly just started to, like, really hate how they made his story. Like, the fact that he is just destined to be Darth Vader, and that is how it turned out for him. Like, that shit just pissed me off. So, currently, Ahsoka is my favorite character in Star Wars, but I mean, it's still Anakin, bro. It's still Hayden Christensen, bro. I don't give a fuck. As in any way that they are going to implement him into the show, I want to see it. So, I'm hyped for this series. So, that is the end of this reaction. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And let me know who y'all favorite character is in Star Wars. And I'll see you all in the next one.